Good morning, everybody. Today is November the 22nd. It is Thanksgiving. It is definitely Turkey Day. Yay! Anyway, this is a continuation of another video that I made, but unfortunately I wasn't able to finish it due to it getting dark so early. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you about my sweet potatoes. And anyway, since my last video, this box right here that they were in, it was completely covered with vines and you couldn't see it, and I've went ahead and measured it. What I have found is that it's roughly about a 16 square foot box that we built. It's not exactly 4x4, but it's almost a square. Anyway, in this box, what I did was I went and I cleared off all the vines, and I've dug out all the sweet potatoes, but I didn't get a chance to finish everything. So what I did was I took these screens, these window screens, and I went ahead and put them over top of the box just to protect it from the chickens, because a lot of times, if I don't get to finish a project, they'll go in and they'll scratch it up and they'll, peck at everything, and they do like sweet potatoes. So if you've got them, definitely protect your sweet potatoes from your chickens. But so that's why I threw these screens over. But let me just kind of remove it real quick and I'll show you. Anyway, this is the box since the sweet potatoes have all been removed. And what I did as I was digging them out, I also found, speaking of chickens, I'll try to give you guys a better shot. These are grubs. Now, this may not be for everybody, and I've actually lost some of them since my last filming. I think some of them have gotten out. But as you're digging through, if you have chickens and you find grubs, save them. Throw them in a bucket or whatever, because they're really not good for your lawn. They eat up all kinds of stuff. And the chickens love them. So instead of leaving them there to cause damage, why not save them and give them to somebody, that loves to eat them, which is the chickens, of course. But anyway, so that was my point in keeping these, and I'll just throw them in their food container and they'll love them. But and that may not be for everybody. Some people may not want to mess with the grubs, but if you're a gardener and you dig in dirt, you run into bugs. So I would think most gardeners wouldn't care too much about bugs. But anyway, this box, I had mentioned in another video, I had lined it with this landscaping fabric, and the point of it was so that once, it was time to harvest everything. Let me kind of do this, and I'm holding this by hand. I could kind of pick up on it and loosen the dirt, and what happens is it makes it so loose, plus it's the consistency of this dirt, but it makes it so loose that you can just kind of dig them out like super easy. And I wanted to show you what kind of dirt that I have, just the consistency of it. I mean, and it's just like topsoil, and you're gonna have to forgive Stella, she's gonna come in the video, but it's much like just a good consistent topsoil, not too much sand, not too much clay, and I've added things to this, a little bit of potting mix, not much. I've added rabbit manure. There is that is a piece of clay right there. So it's not a perfect soil, but I just wanted to show you the consistency in it, and there is a lot more sandiness to it to kind of break it up. But that way you can kind of see. Oh, and I think I got a worm. You can see what the sweet potatoes are growing in. But anyway, after I went and I dug everything out, and I kind of went through and made sure that I got all the sweet potatoes, I wanted to show you part of, as I was using this fabric to loosen the soil up, I took the extra dirt because there was too much, and I put it in these containers just kind of as an overflow, but it makes it so much easier to go through and make sure that you have all your sweet potatoes out of your box. And anyway, I wanted to show you what I actually ended up with. and I put them in this box. And again, I put this other lid on top of it because if my chickens get to it, they will devour the sweet potatoes, and they did get one. But this, and this is full, this box. I'll show you kind of the side of it. And normally you don't store them this way, but this was just for collection purposes. And this was just 9 plants. So in that box I took 9, a lot of people, well, I've heard it called draws. Some people call them slips. But anyway, I've taken 9 plants and put it in that box, and out of those, that's what I got. So I think that's, really a pretty darn good return. Now, I will mention this. If you look at these sweet potatoes, these are a different variety than what I grew last year. I'm not as thrilled with them as I was last year. Now, I have not cooked them yet, so I don't know how they did on flavor, but I'll explain why I'm not as thrilled. If you look, see how they're cracking? Now, I'll say this could be my fault as well, and I'll tell you why. This year I harvested them later than what I normally harvest them. Usually I would harvest them late October or early November. But this year it's, Thanksgiving, and well, of course they weren't harvested today, but they were harvested a couple days ago. And anyway, I think because they were pulled so late in the season, they sat too long, and they might have, cracked because of that. Also, this year, we have gotten an incredible amount of rain in our area. I know a lot of people out there have had drought, but our area did not suffer drought. It suffered a lot of rain, more than we've seen in a long time. I even had flooding out in my area, so that could be another thing. So late season could be the variety. It could be, the flooding. Who knows? There could be some type of a mineral deficiency that I'm just unaware of that could have caused this. But another thing is these were allowed to go to flower, which in a lot of in a lot of cases with vegetables, that's not a good thing. So that could have made these more woody. But either way, they're still edible. I don't know if they're going to be as good as what they could be, but we'll find out. So, but anyway, that is my box, and that is full. There's no dirt in that or nothing. But once you get your sweet potatoes out and you're ready to store them, because there's no way that anybody's going to eat all those sweet potatoes in one day unless you got a really big family. But once you get them out, what I like to do, I wanted to show you these. These are like a bread, they're racks that you hold bread on. And I actually found them. Somebody had threw them out in the woods. I found these in the woods out of all the places. And I saw them and I thought, man, that would make excellent drying racks. So what I did was I took these racks, and you can use them this way, or you can do what I do, which I like to take them and just flip them over. If you guys would just kind of bear with me for a second. But the reason that I flip them over is if you look on the bottom, see that space, that little air space at the bottom? It just allows more air to get up underneath of them, whereas if you left them flat, the regular way that they hold bread, then you're really not getting airspace underneath. But anyway, once you get your rack set up, I've actually put a little prop sweet potato under here. You just lay your sweet potatoes out on top of it, fill the whole rack. Of course you start at the bottom, work your way up, but, fill your rack, stack another one on top, and then fill your rack again. And these will keep for a really long time. I mean, I've actually had sweet potatoes last up to a year, if you store them properly, and that is putting them on some type of a rack. It does not have to be my type, but some type of a rack that has proper ventilation and is cool. But also, if you store them out, with any type of potato, you know, you could always have the one that doesn't make it, and then you got to clean it out and clean the mess. You could also find insects that get to it, you know, if any kind of a bug that likes sweet potatoes gets a whiff of it, you know, they could get into it. There's rodents out there, so just be aware that this is something that, you know, once you store your sweet potatoes on a rack, you know, check them periodically, try to use them up before a year, but they will keep for a pretty long time, if properly stored. And anyway, I just wanted to show you that. That's one of the methods that I like to use. And I just wanted to tell everybody, you know, again, today is Thanksgiving, for me at least. And give thanks to not only the people that have prepared the food that everybody's going to receive today, but give thanks to the one that has given our nation all the blessings that it has received. I know a lot of people are struggling, you know, in this day and time. The economy's not its best, but you know what? We are still very much a rich nation. There are so many other people out there in the world that do not have, they don't even have sweet potatoes or turkey or any of that, you know. So today, please remember the one that has blessed you so much, and give thanks. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep gardening, and have a great one.